The X-Wing is here, ready for some space blasting action, and we're going to have some space blasting action in today's game, Stargate for the Atari 2600, which was also released as Defender 2 in a red box. And we got some pretty cool box art here, where some UFOs are, well, looks like they're capturing futuristic scuba divers. All right, let's go ahead and take Stargate, pop it in my Atari 7800 Pro system, and see how it holds up today. Let's go to the game. Stargate was published by Atari and carries a copyright year of 1984. It is based on the 1981 Williams arcade game, which was also the sequel to Defender. Stargate was programmed by Bill Aspromonte, who also did Pigs in Space for the 2600. Later on in the 80s, Atari re-released the game in a red box under the name Defender 2. According to the manual, it seems that your original plan from the original Defender did not work out very well. But now you have a Stargate. Wait a minute, you're telling me there was a Stargate in the early 80s before the 90s movie? So that explains how MacGyver ended up in the TV show. Stargate is a Defender-style action game for one player only with only one standard mode of difficulty. Stargate actually uses both joysticks. The first joystick moves your ship and fires your main weapon. The second joystick has three functions. If you press the fire button, it will activate a smart bomb that destroys everything on the screen. If you move the joystick forward, you will activate Inviso that turns your ship invisible for 2 seconds and destroys anything that you pass through while you're invisible. Pressing the joystick backward will activate hyperspace, sending you to a random part of the screen. If you run out of smart bombs, that button will activate the Inviso, and if you run out of Invisos, it'll activate the hyperspace instead. Outside of your own survival, the main goal of the game is to protect the humanoids on your planet. If the lander aliens, which kind of look like flying octopuses, catch a human and take it all the way to the top of the screen, the lander will turn into a mutant vehicle which looks very similar but has some slight differences. If all the humans are taken, the planet will be destroyed, but you will still have to defend yourself against the enemies. In Wave 6 and every 5th wave after that, the planet is restored. Landers and mutants are worth 150 points each. Some other enemies you'll encounter include the Ulabian space guppies that are tiny annoying ships worth 200 points each. By the way, these aliens were named to make fun of the arcade competitor of Williams at the time, Bally. Yelab is Bally spelled backwards. And yes, this is also the same Bally that also had fitness centers and casinos popular in the 80s. Other aliens include the Firebomber that looks like an hourglass. They are worth 250 points each. Pods are worth 1,000 points each, but once you destroy them, they will produce 3 swarmers that are each worth 150 points. There are also dynamos and Freds that are worth 200 points each, and tiny munchies that are worth 50 points each. For every 10,000 points, you earn an extra ship and smart bomb and more Inviso. When the lander grabs a human, you have a limited amount of time to shoot them to rescue the human. If the human is close enough to the ground, they will fall to safety. However, if they are too far up, you'll need to catch them. There are sounds to notify you when a human is caught. You can use the Stargates to zoom to an area where a human is in trouble. The game also has some special attack waves. In Wave 5 and every 10th attack wave after, you'll encounter an alien dogfight where you will only fight the space guppies, pods, and dynamos. Every 10th attack wave, you'll be in the middle of a fire bomber showdown. While minimal, the graphics in the game are great. Most Atari arcade conversions don't look anywhere close to their arcade counterparts, but Stargate really looks like an early 80s arcade game. I thought the sounds were fantastic as well. Family friendly wise, you just have your standard Atari space combat action. At the time of my research on eBay, red labeled Defender 2s and Stargates and the silver label loose both went for about $11 to $15. There was one red box Defender 2 that was in complete condition that sold for $13 and a silver box complete Stargate that sold for $24. There was also several new sealed red box Defender 2s that were selling for $24 a piece, and those prices include the shipping. So what did I think of Stargate? Wow. It is really amazing how a game that came out only a few years after Defender on the 2600, which I just reviewed in episode 256, could surpass it to such a degree on a technical level. However, it isn't perfect. The game can be tough, and there is no way to adjust your difficulty. The manual claims the game has 100 waves, but I'd be lucky just to get to wave 10. Also, I found the 2-joystick method to be too much of a burden to use. The best I could do was place a second joystick on the floor and try to hit the button with my toe to use smart bombs. I actually wish there was an option to use smart bombs like in the original Defender, where you press a button at the bottom of the screen to activate it. It also made me wish that I still had the Ed Ladd Super Twin 78 dual joystick on loan that could have made the 2-joystick method work. But all problems aside, I was still amazed by this game. As I mentioned before, I'm not a fan of Defender-style games, but this is clearly the best one I've reviewed so far. Better than Chopper Command and way better than the original Defender. So where am I going to rank Stargate? Well, I'm looking in the top 20. Now, I'd rather play Kangaroo or Joust at numbers 10 or 11, but I'm going to give it a slight edge over the enjoyable Sequest at 12. So out of the 76 games I've reviewed so far in the 2600, Stargate is warping into the number 12 position. If you're at all a fan of Defender-style games, you should really check out Stargate or Defender 2 on the 2600. They're the same thing. If you enjoy retro-related videos, would you please click the like or subscribe buttons? You can also follow me both on the Facebook or the Twitter. I'm also a member of the Retro Junkies Network. You can find more retro podcasts and videos at theretrojunkies.com. Thank you for giving me a little part of your day, and I look forward to seeing you next time on the next episode of The No Swear Gamer. Take care, everybody.